to Deadly Dames. So we decided that it was probably time for us to do another movie review, mainly because we've just watched a film which we absolutely adored. It'd actually probably be the best movie which we've seen all year. Just before we do this, I wanted to say thank you to a good friend of ours from our Facebook channel who sent me this amazing hat, which has actually got Deadly Dames written on it. As you can tell, I love it because I'm wearing it. So yeah, thank you, Martin. And yeah, so we'll just get started and talk about this movie called Summer of '84. It's actually by the same people that did the movie Turbo Kid, which if you haven't seen is also fantastic. I'm looking at Claire.
I haven't seen it yet.
Because she hasn't seen it, but it's fantastic. I've been trying my best to get Claire to actually watch this movie.
I will watch it.
Eventually she will watch it, but it is a fantastic film. But today we're talking about this film. I had heard a lot of people talking about seeing it at Fright Fest. We do have Fright Fest in Glasgow, but it's not as big as Fright Fest in London. And we never get to go up here in Glasgow because it's so expensive. And
you need to kind of commit to a full week.
Off. I think they've only recently started letting you do like single movie screenings, but we all seem to miss it. Hopefully maybe next year we might actually get to see one movie, would be good. But this was one of the films which was played. And I'd heard a lot of good things about it, and there obviously is like a sort of revival of 80s, and well, it was the year we were born, so we decided let's watch Summer of '84. Plus there's actually quite a good cast in this as well. Well, sort of up and coming cast has obviously got the girl from Riverdale and
what else did you say she was
Once
in?
Upon a Time. And obviously she was in that movie If Lambs Have Teeth, I think it was called.
Oh, aye, you told me that.
And then the guy that was in we said this Glow, and I think the other guy was the kid was in Goosebumps. But anyway, the cast is sort of up and coming that's in it, and the director obviously did Turbo Kid, which I love. Staring at Claire, trying to get her to watch it.
I will watch.
But she will eventually watch it if I keep asking her. But yeah, as I said, out of all the movies which we've been to see at the cinema or otherwise, this is my ultimate favourite movie of the year. It completely blew us away. So I'm going to try my best not to do a spoiler for this movie.
Well, that's
because
difficult.
I want everyone that watches this to have the same reaction that we did watching this. You know you have seen a movie which you love because we watched this 2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
And I can't get this film out of my mind. I am still thinking about the ending of this movie.
I was going to say she's been going on about the ending for 2 days, but
it's still there. It's left a lasting impression.
It does leave an impression.
Summer of '84 is about a group of 4 kids. Now, when you say this, the movies that all jump straight into your mind is movies like The Goonies or It or Stand By Me. What was that? Stand By Me. I got very deep there. Stand By Me. Those sort of movies about, best friends in the summertime, and then suddenly they either go on an adventure or have to face off against something really tragic or evil like in It. And it's kind of what this is. So it's about a group of 4 friends who, at the time in the period that it is, obviously you could see missing. Kids are going missing, and one of the kids who is very obsessed with like UFOs and monsters, etc.
And conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
And,
kind of becomes obsessed with the idea that his neighbour is the murderer who is kidnapping these missing children. And that's where the story goes from there. Now, I haven't actually told you anything which is not in the advert at this stage, so I'm not spoiling anything. And then you follow these kids, start following all the moves of the neighbour. Now, the neighbour's a police officer. Again, I'm not telling you anything that's not in the advert. So I'm trying not to do any spoilers. So at this stage you can watch the trailer and I'm not ruining anything for you. So they start then between them doing like a kind of Goonies setup where they every day they follow the police officer. It's the summer, so they've got free time. And they start staking out and following him at his every move, and they start realising that he's doing a lot of things, like he's going for a lot of dirt, he's got different cars, he's got like what do you call it, Claire? what do you call the places like the...
Oh, like a lockup.
Lockup, that's the word I'm looking for. He's got a lockup, and they're very much like, none of this seems right. He's got like a whole other kind of secret life.
But the thing is, these things could also be normal.
But to a kid,
when you're a kid looking for something, then I guess you would want to see certain things, you know, that are normal, and try and find an explanation for it that's abnormal.
So I just realised there was a lot of glare the way I had that sitting. So a good chunk of this movie is just you following these kids on what could be described as probably a misadventure to start with, because it's not really an adventure as such. It's more of a misadventure to start with, where these kids are following their neighbour police officer and getting deeper and deeper down the rabbit holes, really the only way to describe it, and they're following him and thinking, is he a murderer, is he not a murderer? And along the way, obviously, one of the kids has his little schoolboy crush, and you kind of meet her, and you get the feeling, I think she's a little bit older.
I think she used to babysit.
I don't think she's much older, maybe a couple of years older. And she kind of becomes involved in the group, and it's not much of a love thing. She's moving away and things like that. It's not really a love at all. I think she's
nice to him.
She's nice to him, and she's friendly with him, but it's not really a love. It's more of a schoolboy crush. And that's kind of going on. This actually I don't even know if you could really 100% describe it as a horror up until this stage. It's more of a thriller. It's actually quite a long movie for the genre that it is.
It doesn't feel
but
that
it doesn't
long.
feel
106 minutes.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel long though.
It doesn't feel it at all, but it sort of flows perfectly, following these kids, and no one believes them, because once they find enough evidence, they think they can present it to their parents.
What they think they've found is evidence.
Yeah, they think time to present it, and obviously no one believes them. But the last 20-25 minutes of this movie will
tense.
stay with you.
Actually, I wouldn't even say 25 minutes. I'd say the last maybe 15 to 20 minutes was very, very tense, because we were watching it thinking, oh, we really liked the characters, and we liked the storyline and where it was going, and you know, when you're watching it, you're like,
till I get water.
When you're watching it, you're like, oh, is the neighbour the killer? Oh, is he not? Oh, I think he is. Oh, I don't think he is. Oh, I think it's this person. I think it's that person. So you think you've got it sussed at different points of the film as to what's going on, but then that's what you're thinking of it is like the kids, you're like trying to solve the mystery, but then the last maybe 15 to 20 minutes, suddenly it's very, very tense, and we were both sitting watching it saying, oh, I don't like this. I don't want to
spoil the ending of this at all.
But no, I'm not saying any more about it.
All I want to say is that it will stay with you for days, like it did with me. I want to see more from these people, because Turbo Kid was fantastic. It was completely different from this. I want to watch this movie every year. I want to watch this movie more than once a year. You could watch this movie more than once a year. In fact, I would watch this movie next week again.
I think you could watch. It's definitely a film, like even by the end, when you know what's going on, it is a film you could watch again. But it's just the last 15 to 20 minutes really, it is so tense.
And the ending, just the end line, not the end line, but you know, once you see it, you'll know the finale battle line will stay with you. It is haunting, and I cannot stop thinking about it. And you know that you've found a masterpiece of a movie, and I'm going to use that line, masterpiece, because I think this is what it is. When it stays with you 2 days later. And I think I will be talking about this movie for weeks, so Claire's going to have to get used to me talking about Summer of 84. It's funny, I keep singing it's the summer of 69 and talking about kids dying. And Claire's like, Mandy, shut up, you can't sing that whilst we're walking about the supermarket and stuff. I was like, it's the summer of 84 and kids are going missing and dying. And Claire's like, stop singing that.
Can't take you anywhere.
But anyway, and then I can't get the stupid normal songs stuck out my head, and I don't even like Summer '69.
I wouldn't have known because you've been singing it an awful lot.
I've been singing the
lately.
Summer of '84.
I actually think you like the song.
Oh, I don't. I've been singing the Summer of '84, but kids going missing and dying. But yet, back on track. I think out of all the movies I've seen, and as much as I liked Halloween, and there's been other films that I've seen this year, as soon as I watched Summer of '84, it blew them all out the water.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best movie I've seen this year.
I would agree. It was much better than the new Halloween. I really enjoyed it.
I can't even remember any other movies that I've seen this year that came even close to this.
I'm trying to think. Maybe not.
Did Coco come out this year?
No, Coco was last year.
Was it 100%? I think it was the beginning of this year.
Don't think so. We'll Google it later.
Because Coco was good.
Coco was good.
But I might be mixed up in years. But this blew every other movie that I've seen this year out the water.
I think
my
if
favourite movie.
See, if it hadn't been for the cast though, I think it might... I mean, it would still have been good, but the impact, especially the impact of the ending, might not have been the same. I think some of them were kids and some of them were a wee bit older than the characters that they were playing. I think they were quite good. The four boys. The
four boys, and even like the girl playing a teenager, and like the police, even the parents. Everybody in this was well cast.
But I think the friendships seemed quite genuine though. Like there was nothing that felt kind of out of place, if that makes sense.
What I will say is, for whatever reason, this doesn't seem to have a UK release yet. I don't know if I think this was maybe I don't know if it was an Indiegogo or a Kickstarter one, or if because it was from Fright Fest. I'm not sure. I managed to get it on eBay. It wasn't actually expensive, and I know that there's a VHS limited edition release that's kicking about that you can buy. You can actually get this if you live in the UK, but you do pay a little bit more money for it.
It is worth it though.
It is worth it. You can get multi-region ones as well, like this one. This one I've got some multi-region.
How much did you pay for?
I paid 15.
15?
So it wasn't bad.
That's not bad.
But you can get decent releases of it, and as you see, it's multi-region Blu-ray. It's worth it. It's worth every penny. So definitely get yourself a copy of this. We were talking about this recently, that eventually, because I had so many movies, and I had so many movies sitting there in my collection that I watched once. I don't want a collection like that anymore. I want movies sitting on my shelf that I watch multiple times, and that's the only movies that I want sitting there. And this is going to be one of these movies that I will pick up and watch over and over and over again, because this movie was fantastic.
You can sit next to Mamma Mia on your
your
beloved section.
No, this is probably going to sit next to, I think I would watch this with it. It has the same sort of, I know it's like a group of kids, but it
does
has
have
that
a similar
feel.
vibe.
I know I sort of said, I think it's because it's got the group of kids in it, but it does have that similar vibe. I try to think of what other movies would I watch it with. What other movies does it give me that feel of?
Well, we did mention Stand By Me and The Goonies, but it's not quite
it's not
the
like
same.
that, because The Goonies is more an adventure film, and Stand By Me has the kind of tragic vibe of like the kids.
But this doesn't.
Yeah, this does. I'd probably say it is like a cross between it and Stand By Me.
Yeah.
That's the only way to describe it. Do you know, it actually felt like The Burbs as well.
Aye, that's right. And either was another film
it
that
felt
was
like
said
The Burbs,
but
without the comedy.
The
Without
Burbs with kids, but it's no funny.
No, it's no funny. But yeah, it felt like The Burbs as well. That's the only way to describe it, like The Spy and the Neighbours. Rear Window
meets The Burbs meets Rear Window meets the one that you just said. It.
Well, it's it with the supernatural side to it, because obviously it's real. But
I think that's why I thought it was so scary, is because it was obviously kind of had more of a true life basis rather than supernatural or anything like that. But I think it is so difficult to talk about it without spoilers.
I don't want to spoil anything.
So
I
I'm not
tried
saying
my
anything
best
else.
to say what was in the trailer only.
Mhm.
I don't want to give anything else away, but all I'm going to say is that if you haven't seen this movie, get a copy and watch it.
If you're I wouldn't even say if you're a horror fan. I think if you just appreciate a really good film with like a lot of character building and a lot of suspense, then this is definitely a film for you. If you just want if you like slashers, or if it's just gore you're after, then this isn't the film for you. But
I mean,
think
the
most
cover
people could
makes
enjoy
it
that.
look like
It's going to be it. But it
it's
looks
a horror.
kind of slashy.
Stranger Things is a little bit like this as well. Like, it's a group of kids, except it doesn't have, like the supernatural side to it. But it is, it's like a group of best friends of that kind of age going on like a murder mystery. Only with a really horrible twist.
Mm-hmm. A very horrible
Add in
twist.
Ted Bundy or Gacy, that sort of element to it. But yeah, so far, and the year's almost over, this movie blew every other film that I have seen out the water. I think you feel the same, don't you?
Yeah.
Although I don't stop talking about it.
No, she
Claire
hasn't.
has stopped talking about it. I'm going to make my sister watch this. And then I'm going to make everybody else I know watch this. And then I'm going to make Claire watch it again.
That's fine.
And then I'm going to make her watch it again.
I think it's the sort of film that when you watch it again, you'll notice things that you didn't really notice the first time round. That's what I think.
But if you were to rate this film, how would you rate it?
I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
And so would I. But if you've seen it, please let us know what you thought about Summer of 84. And if you haven't seen it and then you pick it up and watch it, please let us know what you think about it, because we'd be interested to know what you think too. And on that note, I'm going to go talk about it some more. And then I'm going to talk Claire into watching it some more. And then I'm going to talk everybody else that I know into watching it. And that's all we're going to say. We don't want to give anything else more away about this movie.
Even the tiniest wee spoiler would just ruin it.
It would.
It would ruin it.
But I absolutely adored this movie. I actually want to know where everybody got that VHS special edition from. It looks really good.
Maybe
Not that I need it.
Kickstarter.
Not that I need it, but I really liked it.
If it was a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo, you maybe had to be part of it.
It looked really nice. Not that I need it, but I kind of want it. But I don't need it, but I kind of want it. But
is that a hint?
no, because I don't know where everybody got it from. But I don't need it, but I want it. But I do want it. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed our review of the movie, which I loved, and I want you to watch. And everybody tell Claire to watch Turbo Kid, because she liked this film. And as always, please like and subscribe, and take care.